W- welcome to 2024. This is Receptive Radio. I'm Jennifer Seifert, and I'm streaming to my Facebook page, my Receptive Radio page, and YouTube as well. So, what is Receptive Radio? Why did I create this Facebook group, this private Facebook group? Originally, I created it just for my clients, my private mentoring clients. And then recently, in the last 3 months, I think I opened it up to anyone can join, because why wouldn't I want anyone to join and be learning about becoming more receptive? Receptivity is the new wave of opening up to awareness and consciousness, becoming open to receiving your life instead of creating it and struggling and thinking it through, thinking your life up. This is receiving your life instead, and being open to intuition, guidance, and life direction, and all the awareness and consciousness and being present aspects of living. So in Receptive Radio, I teach practices. I sometimes tell stories. I also guide you. And then I also often do extra things, not on Thursdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time is when I'm doing a weekly live episode. But there's also other things going on in Receptive Radio. And it's also a group for visionaries, transformers, change agents to get together and get to know each other. You can also post in my Facebook group and communicate what you do and what you need help with, or what you know that would help us to be even more receptive. This is an open platform to become more present, more aware, fulfilled, joyful, happy, effortlessness, and flowing in your life, and ultimately doing your purpose work powerfully from a state of presence and receptivity, and creating prosperity doing what you love. Those are my brand promises: purpose, power, and prosperity. And in May, I left a job, a career as a professional accountant, a chartered professional accountant. And now I'm doing my life purpose work. And being receptive every day is part of my job. And I have a strong spiritual practice. I'm very disciplined and committed. And I've been doing that for over 27 years, I think now, where I set up my day with my daily practice. And it's a pretty fun practice, and it changes all the time. I'm always adding new tools, new resources, new teachings that I learn or download, receive, and I do them. And because I do them and I practice them, stuff happens like that I can use in my life. Like my life changes dramatically. And I've been doing Receptive Radio. I just looked. February 23rd, 2023 was my first Thursday that I did Receptive Radio. And so I'm 11 months into doing this weekly show, and I get better at it every time. And I just courageously go and do it and turn on the channel, this receptive channel, and receive the guidance of the episode that's coming in for weekly. So I want to share with you about receptivity. Receptivity is about being open to receiving. And it's not something that I want to really mentally conceptualize. I want to feel receptive. I want to feel open. I want my body to be open. I want my mind to be open, my heart to be open, my energy field, so that I can have my essence, higher self, in partnership with my physical body that's here on earth, grounded, and helping me get to where I want to go and thrive. And because of separation, this big concept of we're all separate from each other, we tend to close ourselves off from being receptive because of these old programs that we've been running in. And I'm still learning it all myself too. And teaching has excelled and catapulted me forward in transforming my own resistance, my own struggle, my own problems. And that teaching is part of my purpose work. So the more I step into my purpose work, the more receptive I am, the more present I am, the more powerful I am, the more vulnerable I am. And the more I see how much courage I have, because I'm trusting that I'm doing what I'm meant to do. And I believe we can all be really prosperous and abundant when we do step into our life task work, our powerful purpose work that we're meant to do here. And I want to help other people do that. That's my purpose. And because I've had this strong daily practice, which has really helped me just discover that this is my purpose, the strong daily practice and teaching that to others, holding space for others to transform, relating to other people's problems, issues, situations, relationship, money, work, career, time, management. I've been through a lot of that. And I have a book coming out this year that tells that story. And doing my purpose work I get to go through what I'm teaching. So I'm doing it alongside my clients as well. So everything that I teach, I really go into exactly what you're going to in a different way, for me. And it's awesome. It's awesome. So when I'm teaching somebody about shadow work, I get to go into shadow work. I get to experience everything again on a different level, a different wave, or a different frequency, a different rotation up the spiral. And that really supports my own growth. And so I'm tuning into receiving that. Well, if that's doing that for me, it's doing it for my clients. And if everybody really stepped into doing their purpose work more, we would be evolving rapidly. And I know it's the new year and we have all these resolutions that we want to become better and put this habit into place and stop doing that addiction. And that's hard work. That can create healing crises. That work needs support. And I'm a support person for that because I do the same thing. I want to change my life for the better every day. Every day in every way, I want to get better and better. It's one of the things that I've been saying to myself for a long time. It comes from the Sylvia mind control method. And I like it and it works. And that's the thing. There's so many things that work. There's so many tools and resources and ways to get into receptivity that it's actually makes it easy for us to everyone to do their own way, the best one that resonates for them. And I love having so many different ways to get home into myself, present, open and receptive, because it keeps it stimulating. It stops it from being boring. Because as soon as we get bored, you go to the gym and you start working out, you got the same routine. You're easily bored after a while and you give up. So you got to keep it different. And that's what I like. I like to keep it different for myself, but I like the place that I keep coming back to with all the different practices that help me to be receptive and present and at home in my body, open and receptive to receiving. So today I was working with one of my colleagues, a friend of mine in Switzerland. We were working through a heart's desire practice. And I've been, struggling a bit with transforming something I'm working on around prosperity and money. And I don't want to go into worry. I don't want to go into anxiety because I know that is the way to close off the gates to flow and receiving. But that's all mental. That's all mental. So I have to really get into feeling those feelings of feeling overwhelmed, powerless. What was the other one? Anxious, worried. And I know that those are common things that we all feel. So I want to take us through a little practice right now, because that's what we do on Receptive Radio. We actually do a practice. So we can become open and receptive. So this feeling of like flatlining or going down, like getting down the downward spiral, brings me into my head, keeps me up at night thinking and trying to solve problems. That is constricting. That closes me off to receiving. And then I get tired. Then I don't want to do what I had planned. And I know you can relate to this. We have all these goals that we're striving for. We're trying to do our purpose work, learning all the marketing and all that kind of stuff. That's, the hardest part for me right now. I can do the purpose work. I can show up for the client. That's the goal. That's where I love to be. That's where it feels great. And I'm, trained many years to do that part of the work. But learning all of this type of work to market myself and get myself out in front of people, to make relationships with, a large community, that's a daunting task for me. And so I don't want to constrict myself, but that's this mental mind that I'm feeling. So today I was sharing with my friend, and we worked through this process together so that I could get some lift. So I could get some lift to feeling better and being receptive and open to receiving the guidance instead of trying to mentally solve the problem and create the guidance I need, which, is struggling. It doesn't feel as good. And so I was having these feelings of overwhelm, powerlessness, worry, anxiety, which are, if you want to just feel into those feelings right now, as a example, I'm sure you've all felt anxiousness before. If you feel into feeling anxious and overwhelmed, for me, it's kind of like a vibration, like a nerveness, it's ungrounding. It keeps me up in this thinking mind instead of down in my body and open. So just for 30 seconds, a minute, let's feel into anxiousness and worry together. Just notice what's in your body, not your mind. Okay, that's long enough, because we don't want to be going there too much, because then we bring more anxiousness and worry to us. Okay, so if you notice, it doesn't feel that good. We want to move towards what feels good. So we determined through the practice of the heart's desire that we did together that effortlessness gave me a lift. It gave me a lift of, okay, that's more powerful. I feel good there. It brings me joy, it gets me open out of my thinking mind. So when I felt into effortlessness, and I want you to practice this too, even though it might not be going on for you right now, but somebody who's watching the replay, it might be. Effortlessness, I really, close your eyes, breathe into that effortlessness. And when I feel effortlessness, I have this flow that comes up from my womb space dantian, my body center, my root. And it's like this rainbow or colorful, feeling good energy that just comes up right through my heart and up out the top of my head, and it showers into my field, into my auric field. So just try that. See if when you feel into effortlessness, let's just do it for 1 minute. See if you can feel a lift when you feel into effortlessness. And you can just visualize how I experienced it for myself as an example. This effortlessness flows up the central column within you, maybe like a rainbow or an uplifting energy right out the top of your head, and then showers down this field, this frequency of effortlessness into your field. And for me, that was the uplift. And I'm hoping you're experiencing that too. You can put something in the comments if you want. And so I didn't do the heart's desire process with you. It took 45 minutes for us to go through this process. I'm just giving you tidbits of this process. So, but in general, if you know you're feeling anxious and worried, and you become aware of it quickly, like you're noticing that about yourself, and it's dragging you down, you feel like you're going into a downward spiral. And if you catch it and you notice it, you can decide and choose to feel into something that feels better, an energy or a frequency or a feeling that feels better, like effortlessness in my example. And with this effortlessness, feeling into my cat, hugging my cat was another way for me to just, connect with that feeling a bit more. It's effortless for me to love my cat. And so I was just connecting that with, to help me become more into effortlessness. And so she told me to just practice that like 3 times a day, coming back into effortlessness. So I'm doing that here right now with Receptive Radio. And so I want to bring real things to this episodes, to this program, to this private podcast, and share it with you so that you can use these tools as well. I want to share information. I want to give tools and resources and give support. That's part of my purpose. And it's taken time for me to get the courage up to, come on live without a script and just, sit here and deliver good information, I think, but somebody else might not. And, I'm not comparing myself to anybody, and I'm not worrying about that anymore. I'm just doing it because at some point you have to go for it. You have to go for it and take the risks and go scared, move through that resistance. And that's what I'm doing to do my life purpose work. And so I'm so grateful to share this with you today. And if you are watching this on my Facebook page, Jennifer Seifert, and not in Receptive Radio, please go to Receptive Radio and press the join button and join Receptive Radio. to get, be available to get this resource part of, your daily, weekly practice that you can add in. And it's only 20 minutes. And lots of times, some of the practices are, 15 minutes long. So it changes every week. There's always something new coming in. I'm working with new energies, new struggles, new obstacles, new ways to transform them. And it's all free. So thank you so much. Have a great day and Happy New Year. This is going to be a good year. Bye.